Miltech just sent over the brand new BO105 for me to check out, and today we're going to take an early look at it. Now, like a lot of Miltech's aircraft, this has been highly anticipated, so I'm super excited to finally get my hands on it. Now again, this is an early preview, so bugs may be apparent and this isn't the final release. But with that said, let's actually check this out in the sim. Now, for those who don't know, the BO105 is one of the most unique helicopters out there, and that's specifically because of its design. It has a hingeless rotor design, which means it can pretty much do anything and everything. And I mean anything. This helicopter is used in a variety of fields, from military, civilian, medical, police, to even the Red Bull team. If you've seen the Red Bull team racing around their helicopters doing crazy stunts, this is that helicopter. So of course, the first thing I have to do in this thing is see if it can do aerobatics. And of course it can. Now, forgive my flying, I'm not the best helicopter pilot at all. As much as I love helis, I'm really not that good at flying them. So in terms of this video, I've got no information on this helicopter. I've got the helicopter itself and the simulator, and we're going to explore it together right now. So once you install it and actually check out the sim, the first thing you're going to notice is the sheer amount of variants. Now this thing has a variant for just about any use. You've got everything from military to snow operations to floats to aerobatics, medical, private and civilian use, snow skis. There is just so many different variants here, and each variant has its own liveries, and there are heaps of liveries, and some of them are specific to locations. There's even some Australian liveries for the fire helicopters, which is really cool. One thing I will say though, at least at the moment, there isn't any Red Bull Air Racing liveries, which is a bit sad, but it's okay. But jumping into the helicopter, when spawning on ground, you'll notice that it does support the walk around mode in 2024. Now you can do things like taking off the covers, unlocking the rotor, opening doors, including the ground power door, which is right on the front of the nose. On top of that, you can also open the rear of the helicopter. In here you can see where all the covers are, and you can even load it with baggage, which is really cool. Other than that, you can also click on the skids and it will put this plate on the back of it. I'm not too sure what that's for, but it will add an extendable plate. On top of that, you can also click on the jet fuel cap and that will open the fuel cap to get refueled. Now, other than that, that's all I could find so far that is at least clickable. Now, moving into the cockpit, you'll notice that it's a mixture of English and German design, and that's because it's a German helicopter. But even in the cockpit, there's a few unique things here. For starters, by default, it comes packed with the PMS GPS system. So you can download that for free to make use of it, which the link will be down in the description. On top of that, it has a mount for the default EFB, which is really handy. And if you click on the dash, you can actually change the style and design. You've also got the standard features like opening and closing doors along with windows. The only other unique feature I can find, at least by clicking, is you can hide the GPS or the EFB mount. Now, at least by the time of recording, I haven't found a way to switch out the GPS yet. There may very well be a way to change the panels, but I couldn't find it. And even so, just having the PMS as a default one isn't a bad choice at all. But more importantly, let's actually try and get this thing started and see how it flies. Now, the sound design in this helicopter is really nice. It's not overly aggressive or in your face, it just sounds really clean and nice. I'm not sure if the sound design was done in-house or by a separate team, but to whoever did it, it sounds amazing.
Okay, we're Starting engine 1 now.
Like, just listen to that turbo whine on the startup. How insane is that? But more importantly than sounds, let's actually talk about how this thing flies. Now, like I said before, this helicopter has a hingeless rotor design, which means it can perform a wide variety of tasks, which is why so many different people have used it across all different fields. And of course, Miltech have done an amazing job at simulating this. Somehow, I don't know how they've done it, but it is both extremely versatile and aggressive, but also super smooth and nimble. Now, I'm not the best helicopter pilot, so take this as you will, but even I'm able to easily hover this helicopter and taxi it out. If I need to perform a really precise landing, it is super smooth and easy to do. But the moment you want to fly it and chuck it inverted or do some steep banks, it handles it like a champ. Like, this thing is just phenomenal. And if you've tried Miltech's MH60, then you'll know that they are really great at doing their flight dynamics. And the same is here. Now, this is very different to the MH60. I'd say the MH60 somewhat babies you. It's almost like the Airbus of the skies. It has a lot of protection features and a lot of automation to make sure that your flying is smooth. But this helicopter is a lot older, and you don't have those training wheels, so you do need to put in some rudder efforts and try and maintain some decent flying. But it's really easy to do so. This isn't a hard aircraft at all to fly, and in fact, it's actually quite enjoyable. The thing I love most about aircrafts is how usable it actually is, because you'll have a mixture of things. When you get into really high-end simulation, you often find that the aircraft becomes less user-friendly and less usable. You can't just jump in it and fly. But then on the other hand, you have the opposite spectrum, where an aircraft is too simplified and it kind of becomes like an arcade game. But this somehow nails almost both of them. Now again, I'm not a helicopter pilot, nor do I really fly helicopters very often. I do enjoy flying them, but it's not something I take super seriously. But from a flight simmer's perspective, this just feels amazing. Now, by far, the point that really blew me away is I was using my old trusty Thrustmaster Airbus joystick. Now, this was plenty good for most of the flying I was doing, but I want to take things a step further, so I pulled out the Moser AB6, which, if you don't know, is a force feedback joystick. And if you haven't already seen it, you should check out my video on it. But man, this helicopter with the AB6 was just insane. There is no better feeling I've had in a helicopter experience than this with the AB6. It is just so dialed in and precise. It is just phenomenal and super crisp to fly. The amazing thing about force feedback in helicopters is you can use hardware trim, which once I trimmed the helicopter out, this thing just cruised. It was perfect in the skies. It was like cutting through butter. But the moment you want to get aggressive with it, you can, and it handles it. And I think that's part of why I love this helicopter so much, is because it's so versatile. I was able to use it with say intentions in the career mode, and I was doing firefighting, search and rescue missions, all kinds of different things with SkyOps. And before this, the MH60 was normally my go-to, but I think I might have actually found something that will replace it for quite a few different things. As much as I love the MH60, and I do think it's probably still one of the best helicopters in the sim, there's just something different about a bit more of a vintage helicopter, just something a bit older and more hands-on. There's not a lot of automated features here, it is literally just you and the controls. And they've made it an enjoyable experience. And I think that's one of the most important things when creating an add-on. Not only should it look good, sound good, and perform good, but the actual experience of using it should be good. It should be something that's enjoyable, something that I forget about how long I've been flying for because I'm just having fun. Now again, this is just a super quick first look at the helicopter. I haven't got the feature list yet, and this isn't the final version, so there could be very much more still to come. And if you do spot any bugs, just keep in mind this is an early preview build. This won't be the final product. But again, a massive thank you to our friends at Miltech for giving me an early copy of this to check out in the sim. This isn't a full review video or anything like that. This is simply just having a quick first look at the helicopter. But as always, I can't thank you all enough for watching. We've just passed 24,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. Genuinely, I can't believe we've hit this number, and it is just mind-boggling to me. So thank you all so very much. And on top of that, in the video, you'll probably notice that there's a bit of an echo, and that's for a good reason. I've actually moved into the shed, the thing that I've been building for a long time now. But needless to say, there's a pretty awesome video coming out sometime soon showing you that I'm finally building the ultimate flight simulator room. But until then, I'll catch you next time.